Over the past year or so, I've slowly slipped away from my favorite video game of all time. While this is nothing new because burnout is a very real possibility for any kind of passion or thing that you're working on, it's a shame because a lot of the writing that I do nowadays as my main job is actually articles all around Old School RuneScape. Yet what started off as me kind of exploring different topics and creating guides for all sorts of things has slowly turned into me just logging on for 15 minutes, kind of getting screenshots or any information I needed, and then logging off until the next time that I need to fill out some articles. So after finding myself with a day off from work and unsure what to do, I spent some time reconnecting with my favorite pastime. While my goals for coming online weren't for grinding a certain skill or completing any of the dozen or so quests I've missed out on over the past year, instead, I was going to go farming. You see, I still do runs whenever I do remember to actually do them, and each time I go through it, I find myself staring at the overgrown allotments and empty compost bins. So instead, I'm going to go around planting all the different crops, flowers, herbs, and anything in all the patches across Gilnor. Is it going to be difficult? Not at all. Is it going to take a lot of time? Like an hour or so. Will it be satisfying? Certainly. I think Leo agrees. The further I've drifted from home, I feel like I've always had this intense pressure to do whatever it takes to be happy. I say intense pressure because I think I sometimes equate how far I progressed in my goals with happiness. Recently, I've done all sorts of things in the world of music and writing, from performing in public to writing novels and everything in between. But lately, the meaning behind why I worked so hard in this has been skewed. As a kid, I fantasized about the idea of being an established artist, being able to live my life just by writing and playing music without much worry. I'm sure almost every one of you has had somewhat similar goals in mind. But what kept me going as a kid was the fun and enjoyment I've had playing drums or writing a story. It was the act of being creative which brought a sense of fulfillment and freedom. And fast forward 20 years later, I catch myself thinking about deadlines. Is this song in the best version that I can make it? Perfectionism. Completing a task or goal has become more valued than the act or journey itself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get work done. In most cases, there's always work to be done so you can put food on the table. And sometimes you don't have a choice but to get your work done so you can survive another day. It's when you start to make what you want to achieve as a repeating task instead of accepting progress as enough. Being blinded by ambition and desire to do better can soil the rewards of your hard work. We see this all the time in media for movies like Whiplash and Black Swan, where you have a protagonist that's very obsessive over reaching an end goal, but they end up destroying themselves through the progress over it. And at first glance, you may think, of course, just don't work too hard and things may be easy. But for a lot of people, that may not always be the case. A lot of people may always want to strive and reach that end goal to attain their dreams, but in the process, they may not realize that they're falling into those same self-destructive habits. To say that Old School RuneScape is a game to me is a bit of an understatement. It may be overly dramatic, but I can't deny my nostalgia and love for it. I think my relationship to this game often symbolizes how I've viewed and experienced life. From blissful ignorance after first leaving Tutorial Islands to taking on the world, sometimes through brute force, and finally relaxing peacefully, accepting that the steps you took to get there are how you should define your success and happiness. It's not about getting to the top of the mountain or finishing a marathon, it's getting to participate in the first place.